It kind of looks like the numbers are staying about the same, one or two. So please, everybody, please keep yourself muted. There will be a chance several times throughout the meeting that we'll ask for comments. The chat is being monitored. So good evening, everyone. And thank you for taking the time out to join us for tonight's regional meeting. I'm the Zone 12 Director, Dave Douglas, and also we have the Zone 5 Director, Cheryl Odell, and the Zone 4 Director, Michelle Weir. So welcome, everybody. Along the way tonight's meeting, we have some help from our awesome regional support staff, our field reps, and just a whole array of people that help us along the way. And our state president, Charlotte Schindler, is here. So welcome to the last of the 5 regional meetings and the start of the 2020 Vision Summer Conference, which is going to be held July 27th through the 31st. Cheryl, would you tell us what's in store for that week?
Absolutely. Between now and July 31st, we have many things planned. If you have not registered, please do so on the registration link you were sent. Join us next week for daily webinars at 6 p.m. Monday, July 26th, 6 p.m. Diversity and Inclusion. Tuesday, July 28th at 6 p.m. Department of Retirement Systems, Understanding School Employee Retirement Plans 2 and 3. Wednesday, July 29th, Department of Health, the latest detailed information about how to safely operate schools. Thursday, July 30th, exclusive member benefits. What discounts and programs do I have access to as a PSE SEIU 1948 member? And Friday, July 31st, we have a keynote speaker, Justin Patton. Join leadership presence expert, international speaker, and award-winning author, Justin Patton, who challenges individuals to use their presence to build stronger trust and connection, both in the workplace and with the people they love the most. So those sound like some great training that's coming our way, great classes being offered.
And so don't forget, people need to register for those. Right. And I believe that registration has gone out to everybody. Next, I'd like to introduce Tasha. Are you there, Tasha?
I'm here. Hi, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Tonight. I think we have one more slide. So we just really wanted to take a moment during our meeting to reflect on all of the things that are going on in our society right now and really pay homage to those who have lost their lives either due to COVID-19 or to systemic racism. So could we just take a moment and just reflect on that? All right, thank you guys for just taking that moment with us.
Yes, that's great. Thank you, Tasha. Travis, you're up.
Hi, everybody. My name is Travis Tingval. I work for PSE's Communications Department. And I just want to touch base really quick on the unemployment messages that went out this week. I know they potentially caused a little bit of confusion in the chapter, so just wanted to clarify a few things and the intention behind that message. Basically, as Tasha mentioned, with COVID-19, it's a really difficult time right now. Schools have not finalized their plans yet. They're in the process of doing so, and we don't really fully know what's going to go on in the fall in all districts. So due to the situation and the uncertainty, that is why PSE encouraged 12-month or less than 12-month employees to file for unemployment. There was not any inside knowledge that PSE had about anybody's position. It was not meant to speak to anyone in particular saying you're going to be laid off. That was not what we're trying to say at all. What we're trying to say is it's good advice to go ahead and file now, just because we don't know what's going to happen. If you end up filing in the fall and in the event that you are laid off, you wouldn't get that retroactive pay that you would get if you applied now. So basically, it wouldn't hurt anyone to apply now, and it has the real potential to help a lot of members. So that's why we sent out those messages this week. Our job as your union is always to advocate for members and make sure that we are doing everything we can to bring you the most up-to-date information and to advocate for making sure that you're applying when you need to apply and that it gets you the most retroactive pay. So again, we don't know anything in particular, any inside knowledge, but that was the intention why those messages went out.
Thank you, Travis. So, Travis, were you going to talk about the regions and the zones?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get this next slide up. So as you all probably know, PSE is separated into zones, but it's also separated into regions. So each region has had its own meeting this week as kind of the kickoff to PSE's summer virtual vision conference. So we have the Auburn region, which is where our state office is located. We have the Northwest Washington region, followed by Spokane, Tri-Cities / Central Washington region, and Vancouver / Southwest Washington, which is us. So if you take a look down below, the zones within our region are Zone 4, which contains the Glenwood, Goldendale, and Trout Lake chapters. Zone 5, Battleground, Camas, Castle Rock, Centralia, Chehalis Transportation, Evergreen OC, Evergreen PSE, Kelso Chapter 1, Transportation, Lyle, Mill A, Morton, Mossy Rock, Onalaska, Pale, Stevenson Carson, Tumwater United PSE, Toledo PSE, Toutle Lake, Washougal, and White Pass. And finally, Zone 12 with Nacelle, Grays River Valley, Ocean Beach, Raymond, South Bend, and Willapa Valley.
Wow. It looks like Zone 12 is pretty lax there, but I have 2 regions within my zone, so I have already had to do one on Monday. So I am working. So, but staff.
I want to say really quick, welcome to all zones that are with us tonight, but a big shout out to Zone 5. I appreciate all you guys being here. Also, I just want to take a quick moment, and we have Zone 3 Director Susan Olson that has joined us tonight. That I wanted to make sure that we acknowledged her being here.
Well, and I also seen Monty, oh boy, I'm going to butcher her name. The Vice President is here.
It's Monty Franskoviak.
There you go. Thank you. So, staff support within our region. I'm going to ask staff to introduce themselves.
My name is Amber Hodgson. I'm in the membership department. So I work at the state office in Auburn. Yeah.
Welcome.
Hey everybody, my name's Travis. Just introduced myself a moment ago, but I work in the membership and communications department with Amber at the state office, and do a lot of email blasts and text messaging and website, portal, connect, social media. We do everything in our department here. So if you get anything from PSE, it's probably comes from our department.
And I'm Tasha West Baker. I'm a member engagement specialist, and my job is to engage members, but also to really work with chapters on new hire recruitment and retention.
My name is Sandra Bursella, and I'm a PSE field representative in the Vancouver region. I've been a field rep for 10 years, and prior to that, I was a regional office coordinator in the Vancouver area. I work with 8 chapters and districts in my assignment, and I work alongside of Tasha, trying to get our members engaged and activated. And my co-office mates are Casimir and Jill, Justine and Vanessa. And I'm glad to be here tonight.
Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa and I'm one of the regional office coordinators that works from the Vancouver office. So if you do stop by the office, I'm usually the first person you see, and just trying to support the field reps as well as anyone as much as they can.
Hi, I'm Casimir and I'm field rep in the Vancouver office. And I have about 26 years of experience. I've been with PSE for about 5 years. I think it's going on 6. I'm just happy to be here with all the staff and the leadership and the membership. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Jill Ziegler. I am a field rep in the Vancouver office and I represent 7 chapters currently. And those are Nacelle, Grays, River Valley, Morton, Mossy Rock, Kelso 1, Kelso Transportation, Evergreen Office Clerical, and Evergreen PSE. I've been with PSE for 4 years. Thanks for being here tonight.
And my name's Justine Shatney. I'm your friendly local field services assistant. That just means that I help out all of these other folks that went before me. And I work out of the Vancouver office, and I'm also the field services assistant for all the other field reps in the state. And so it's just me now. Thanks everyone for being here.
Hi, I'm Ray Trevino. I'm from the east side of the state of Washington. My chapters are assigned Moses Lake, Quincy, Wenatchee, Toppenish, Prosper, Grandview, and Sunnyside. I've been with PSE 13 years. Prior to that, with the Teamsters, AMTAC, and the Federation. So I've been quite a bit of unions, but none like the one I'm with now that I love so much. And it's been great interacting. I'm a member engagement specialist. And I love engaging with members, building that relationship. And it's been a pleasure. And it's great to be here with you all. And welcome and thank you.
Is that all the field staff and regional staff? If so, I just want to give you guys a big, huge thank you for all you do for our members. I couldn't say enough nice about our field staff, our regional support. You guys are awesome, and you help our members. So thank you again.
I want to second that, Dave. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, staff with PSE. We could not do what we do in our chapters and our zones without you. You support us all. You make us look good. You're there for us. I mean, just all of it all around. So thank you very, very much.
All right. Can we go to the next slide?
PSE elected leadership. Zone 4's director is Michelle Weir, Legislative Council Representative Bev Savigny. Membership Committee member is Timothy Wilson. Zone 5 Director Cheryl Odell, Legislative Council Representative Ann Snyder. Membership Committee member is Leslie Taggart. Zone 12 Director is Dave Douglas. Legislative Council Representative is Teresa Kaufman. Membership Committee member is CJ Ray. Thank you to all
the
zone directors.
And the leadership. That's our leadership teams. Very important. It's a very important job, right, Cheryl?
Oh, yes. I want to give a shout out to Ann Snyder. She became my legislative council representative for Zone 5. She stepped into it, volunteered, and she has done a tremendous job. I am so proud of her and so happy that we have her in Zone 5. So her and I have been working together. She's just taken the ball and run with it. So thank you.
Yes, yes. Okay. Zone council meetings. You know, zone council meetings, per the PSE state bylaws, the zone council shall consist of your zone director and all chapter presidents. However, each chapter president may be represented on the zone council by a designee of his or her choice or choosing. The zone council may recommend to the board of the may recommend recommendations to the board of directors through their zone director. So when you go to these meetings, you come up with things, you give it to the zone director, and we go back and beg and plead and help for it. What are the goals of these meetings?
These are some of the questions that can be asked at these. Is what is the goal of these meetings? What are the needs of the leaders, so that we can bring those things back to leadership in the state office, staff, people that can help us meet those goals, or at least look into the things that the leaders need to help support them in these in the chapters. Items for discussion. Ongoing agenda that would populate agenda for next meeting. So when you're in these meetings, you know, you're hearing things members are bringing up, concerns they have, and that can then help generate an agenda for the next meeting you have, or a meeting that you're going to have, even in your chapter, something to discuss in your chapter. Trainings for sorry, Dave. Oh, trainings for leaders and members at large. And I had my very first one back in February, and that is something that I had been hearing from people around the zone, and that was something I tackled in my very first one. We did some training, and I got some very good feedback from that. So that's something that we can help with and do for our leaders. Bargaining schedule throughout the region to assist with bargaining campaigns if need be. So those are things that can be brought to the zone council meetings or to your zone directors to be brought forward. Also, chapter leader mentors, newly elected leaders would receive a mentor. So we could team you up with another leader in the area that can help you and mentor you with the learning curve. I mean, sometimes, you know, you step in, you're ready to help, you become a leader, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're overwhelmed. And it is nice to have somebody that you can pick up the phone. You can always call one of us, but it's always nice to have another leader that you can just run things by and stuff. So that's something we can do and help you with, putting you in touch with maybe a seasoned leader that can be your mentor.
Hey, Cheryl.
Yeah.
You forgot to mention or remind me, you know what? We have a prize giveaway at the end of this meeting.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And guess what? We're not telling you what it is.
Dave.
You have to be present to win.
Oh, come on. We can't even give them a hint.
Nope. Nope.
Okay. Well, you have to be here at the very end to win that prize. So, and my understanding, there's several of them, isn't there?
Well, there's a couple.
Okay.
I believe there's a couple.
That's what I heard.
Yep. So, and we're not going to tell you.
He's a big tease.
Prizes.
He's a big tease.
That's the only hint you're going to get are 2 prizes.
Yeah.
2 big prizes.
I just want to finish up really quick and say that there's also a platform for taking information learned at the council meetings back to members at large. I don't know how many of you have visited the PSE portal and been to the PSE Connect page, but that's a great resource for putting things on there for members at large, and or questions, information that you want to share with others. And if you haven't been on there, I suggest that you take a moment, get in there and do a little exploring. It's filled with information. The Connect is a great way to connect with each other. So I hope you give it a chance.
Yes, and the portal itself, there's so much. You can find out how much dues you've paid and all your benefits, and so yeah, I love it. Okay. So, a poll question. How likely are you to attend a zone meeting? You will attend, maybe, and probably not. That's a poll. Robin's going to do a poll, correct? Somebody needs to mute. There's a lot of background noise. Oh, here's the poll.
Oh, I love how you can see it go up and down in real time like that.
Wow. 52% said they would go. 41% said maybe. And 7% said no, they probably not. Wow. You don't know what you're missing if you don't go.
And Dave, they've been on Zoom. They can be on Zoom, so you don't even have to leave home.
Yes, you can stay home, and Saturday morning when, a lot of them are held, even your chapter meetings, do your chapter meetings over Zoom. That's awesome because you can cook dinner, you can do your schoolwork, whatever, by listening to the meeting, and you could do it all over Zoom. I think everybody's had that chance. So it's great, and I hope it continues even when this pandemic is over. I think it will save a lot of mileage for zone directors, and a huge amount for field reps, and you guys can all be in the comfort of your home.
Dave, share how many people came to your chapter meeting.
I had a chapter meeting earlier last month, and I believe I had 140 people come to my chapter meeting. Robin would have to correct me, but we only have 170 in the zone. I mean, in the chapter. So it was pretty good. Usually our meetings, our attendance is maybe 30. So your attendance will go way up. I loved it. And every time I held a meeting so far, the attendance has always been over 100. So thank you for reminding me of that, Charlotte. Okay, where are we at, Cheryl? You're muted, Cheryl.
We are at slides 11 through 13. And that we're going to turn that over to Tasha.
Hi, everybody. So as Cheryl told you, the very first kickoff webinar that we are going to have next week is going to be on diversity and inclusion. We are excited about this. We know it's not necessarily always an easy topic, but we are at a turning point in our history. We are seeing the biggest rise in civil rights this country has seen since Martin Luther King, and we want to be as much a part of that as we possibly can. We want to, you can roll to the next slide, Travis. We want to support diversity and inclusion within our union. We also want you guys to really begin to understand the intersectionalities between social, economic justice and racial issues. And then for this last slide, we lost a great one earlier this month. Mr. Lewis walked with Martin Luther King, and there you see him getting awarded by President Obama. We've come a long way, but we have a long way to go. We hope that you guys will join us on our journey to be a much more equitable and inclusive organization, and hope to see you on Monday.
That's awesome, Tasha. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tasha.
Yes. So let's talk about the apprenticeship program. How about Indra and Robin? I think you're gonna help us with that.
Yeah, we're just going to spend a couple of minutes on this. The apprenticeship program was created in 1987, and we currently have our field representative, Tim Bush, who sits on the state council. And I'll have to read from my script the name of the council because it's very long. It is the Washington Public School Classified Employees Apprenticeship Committee Program, and it's JATC for short. And in short, an apprenticeship program is a structured paid professional development program. For those of you who are familiar with trade unions, it's very common to have to go through an apprenticeship program before you can become a journeyman and get the higher rate of pay. And in PSE, what we have done is we've worked with local community colleges so that they can offer courses to our members. The tuition is cheaper. And what's nice too is that when you're working through the apprenticeship program, you can actually also simultaneously work on getting your associate's degree. And so it serves a couple of purposes. And there are also some courses that will count towards the fundamental course study. And when the apprenticeship program began, it covered only 3 occupations, and now it's expanded to 15. So it's very popular in the Northwest region. We don't have too many districts right now that are involved in the apprenticeship program. Washougal did become involved in it years ago when it was first established. And that language is in their contract. However, it's not mandatory, it's optional. And if there is enough interest in this region, we might be able to get something worked out with Clark College to offer courses. And so that will take us to our next poll question, which is the next slide. Are you interested in having the apprenticeship program in your chapter? Okay, it's pretty close. Okay, great.
Wow.
So maybe you can put in the chat box what type of information would you like, or you can email me after this meeting and with your questions, And then I can work with Tim Bush and Nikki Lesson in the Northwest region, and they can assist. And also, if you want more information, there is information on the PSE website. So if you go into your portal and then you click on benefits, you will see a tab also for apprenticeship. So you can get more information that way as well.
All right.
And now we are going to hand it off to, let's see,
Tasha and Kazmir.
Kazmir. Yep. It's all yours.
Hello. So RCW 415607, this provides for 30 minutes for you to spend with new employees, to sign them up for the union, to talk to them about the importance of the union, things like voting for officers, input on union decisions, contract negotiations, and other things that are union related. Tasha.
Okay, so Travis, can we have the next slide? So if you guys don't know, in this post-Janus world that we live in, new hire recruitment and greeting new hires is one of the most important things that we can do as members of our union. This is how we let people know about our union family and ask them to become a part of it. So some of the best practices are, one, making sure that you have, if you don't already, good contract language around getting your 30 minutes, right? And getting it within the first 90 days. The science shows us that the first day is the best day to get somebody to sign up. So that's one of the best practices. The other thing that I would tell you is a best practice that I'm going to shout out some chapters: Battleground, Camas, Washougal, they all, Evergreen, PSE, they all have their very own welcome letters that welcome new people to their chapters and tell them who their officers are and give them their contact information. If your chapter does not have this, I highly recommend that you create such a thing. It's a super inviting way for new folks to get introduced to their people in the chapters, right? The other thing that is a really good practice is making sure how we get information from your district regarding like new hires, retirements, people who are terminated. And so work with your chapter leadership and your reps to make sure that we get that information in a timely manner. That will ensure that we're actually able to greet people and utilize our 30 minutes. And then what do you need so that you can continue to be successful? So for Zone 5, you have myself as a resource along with your reps. I am assigned to Battleground, Evergreen, PSE and OC, Washougal, Camas, Kelso, and I think there's a couple others, but I am assigned to those chapters and I'm here to help you guys with your new member recruitment. And so I would love to, if you want to reach out and let's talk about what we need to do to build a comprehensive plan to be meeting new members. If you don't have an MES assigned to you, that doesn't mean we won't still help you and make sure that you get the tools necessary to be meeting and greeting new hires. And it's just important that we welcome them to our family and ask them to become a part of it. So those are some of the best practices on introducing new hires to what it means to be union.
Great, thank you. Any more? Membership, member retention and technology. Boy, technology. How about it, Travis?
So I'm actually going to talk about this one, Doug. And so I'm going to talk about audits that we do twice a year, spring and fall. They typically come from a field rep requesting to the district an entire list of everybody who is who they have as somebody who is covered under the current CBA. We then compare that list with what we have And then we come up with a list of discrepancies, and then we follow up with the district on those individuals, figuring out if this person left and we weren't notified, why weren't we notified, those types of things. And this is different than regular ongoing follow-up that we do every time we process dues. So monthly dues, we have a monthly dues follow-up that comes after we do that. And then we also, the data that comes from those audits are very important, because when you have yourselves or your leaders or your membership officers out trying to retain these new hires, and you don't have all the information that you need, or maybe this person's no longer at this building and you're going to that particular building. So having all of the information and everything accurate as possible is going to help you get those new hires and make it easier. Whether you're doing face-to-face conversations, phone calls, hustles, or trying to get somebody to e-sign.
Cool.
And so one thing that we also do with the employers is we have an employer portal for the districts, typically the payroll department, sometimes HR, depending on the structure of the district. And they have a portal that they can go into to retrieve a lot of their information, the dues rate, dues cap, their monthly dues remittance form, just a bunch of different things that they need to help correspond with us as PSE. Employers are requested to submit changes and updates to the membership department. And this is supposed to come monthly on their dues remittance. So if you think about when we receive our dues from an employer, every single dollar and cent has to be allocated to an individual. And so we have to make sure that we have a list of all the members. And then when we receive that list, we have to be able to make sure that it matches with what we have in our system. And so we ask that they provide changes on that for people who have retired, resigned, new hires, and it's not always done. And so there are districts that are better about providing that information than others. But it's something that we're really trying to get everybody to be helping with. So, and then once we process dues, there's a follow-up for discrepancies, just like with an audit. So there's two different follow-ups. So there's a monthly dues follow-up, and then there is an audit follow-up. And so for the follow-up for dues, if there's somebody who we have as a member in good standing, let's say we didn't receive dues for them, we would then follow up on that person with the district. Hey, we didn't receive dues for this person. What's the reason? Maybe they're on an LOA, maybe they were a sub. And those types of things are supposed to be reported on the remittance, but not always. So then we have the follow-up. We also receive new hire information from board reports. So not very many districts do board reports, but there are actually quite a few in this region that do. I know Evergreen does, Washougal does. I know for sure those two from this region. And so those help us get new hires as well, because they also list retired, resigned, people who are no longer with the district or who have ended their contracts. And so we typically ask that either leaders or leadership or employers all contact the membership department at our email. So it's membership@pseavoix.org. It's a central location. There's 4 of us that pull from that email. So it's myself, Locke, Jeffrey, or Kathleen. So you may have talked to one or a couple of us, but we do try to keep all of the correspondence to that central email, so any one of us can get back to you, whoever can get back first is what we try to do.
Thank you, Amber. That is quite a bit of work. I remember when I first started with PSE, I worked with Ben Blackwell, who used to go around, and he was one of the founding fathers of PSE, and collect dues in an envelope from all the chapters. And he told me of stories that he would sleep in his car with these envelopes full of money. So, and we've come a long ways.
So Amber, if leaders notice their mistakes on their membership lists, or something needs updated, or somebody's changed buildings, whatever, they can reach out to you, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. There are a lot of people who may work with me on a regular basis. There are people who work with other people, or some people just send it to the membership department. But yeah, definitely with those updates, questions, if you see something that doesn't quite look right to you, just reach out to us, and it may be just an error. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so sometimes it takes a partnership to make sure that things, because you're getting everything you can from the districts, but sometimes when we see those, it doesn't hurt to go ahead and contact you, reach out to you guys and let you know that, hey, I noticed this and maybe this needs to be updated or whatever. So
absolutely.
Thank you guys very much for all your hard work. I sure appreciate it. I know we all do.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we're gonna do a quick poll question here before we kind of move on to talk a little bit about the technology that we utilize. So Robin, can we go ahead and throw that next poll question up? The question we have is, it's a two-parter. So have you ever logged into the portal and connect? And if you answer no, why not? We just are curious to know. So go ahead and submit your responses. Okay, it looks like they're starting to roll in here. Okay, here we go. So while the responses are coming in, just in case anyone doesn't know, PSE launched a member portal. I think it was last year we went and launched that. But it's basically a one-stop shop for all the information on your union membership. And then we also launched within the portal a platform called Connect. And Connect is really an online community for PSE members. It's secure. You have to be a member in good standing to log on and to participate. So a lot of chapters have been using it to post anything from bargaining surveys to tentative agreements to meeting minutes, as well as just engage in conversation with one another since you are connected statewide. So it looks like we're about half and half. So it looks like about 52% have logged into the portal and connect, and about 48% haven't. And that's great because we are going to show you exactly what it's all about here in a moment. And it looks like the overwhelming majority, it looks like don't know what they are. So great, let's show you here.
Travis, I just want to say, if you have logged into the portal before, it won't let you submit that.
That's correct.
I'm sorry, it won't let you submit what?
Travis,
So
it's having problems when they answer yes. It's
correct.
having problems and they're submitting.
Correct.
Many more people were saying yes than no.
Oh, gotcha.
Right.
Okay. Well, no worries. We can go ahead and roll with that then. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the next slide. So this is what the login looks like to PSE Connect. You're going to log in through the portal, which can be found on the website. So actually, let me just show you what it looks like here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to open up the PSE website. And I remember earlier when I spoke really quick about unemployment, I want everybody to know we've actually launched a homepage on the website that's got a lot of information, resources. It's got a link to the ESD website where you can ask all of your questions about unemployment. They actually have a chat function there, so it's pretty helpful. So you can go on there and direct members in your chapter there as well, and that page will be updated with information as we receive it. But for right now, we're going to go up to the little button here that says log into my portal. This is where you start. After going to the PSE website is pseclassified.org. And you're going to click log into my portal. So I'm going to log in here. But before I do, I just want to let you know, if you're not quite sure if you have an account, or if you can't remember if you logged in, but you might have forgotten your password, that's completely okay. You can always reset your login information right here. It's a good, easy way to start. Just all PSE members do have an account automatically. So you can go ahead and reset it and get your login credentials here. So let's go ahead and log in here, and I will show you a little bit about this platform. Okay, so here is what the portal looks like. You have your fabulous board of directors here welcoming you. First thing you see. Gonna draw your attention up here to my profile first. Sometimes folks reach out to us and say, you know, I never get PSE email, or I wish I received texts from you. Part of that could be that we just don't have the most up-to-date information. So if you click on My Info here, you can see all the information we have in our database for you. So you can go ahead and update your email address, you can update your phone number, your address for hard mail, and you can just hit save here, and it's live with the database, so it writes directly back. So all the information here is what we have for you. So that's a good place to start. Next week, we're actually hosting a whole webinar on PSE member benefits. So I won't go over this too in detail, but I definitely encourage you to go ahead and register for that. It's going to be really good. As Dave, I think Dave mentioned earlier, you can check your dues history. You can see how much you're currently paying. You can see who your chapter leadership is. If you're a chapter leader, you can pull a current membership list, which is really helpful. So I definitely encourage you to just get on here and take a look at everything there is to offer. But as I mentioned before, there's a separate platform called Connect, and you can get there through the portal. So you don't need to log in twice. You just go ahead to the menu here and click Connect, and it takes you to the platform here. So you just click this button down here to go to Connect, and it will redirect you automatically to your chapter communities. So every member is a part of the all member community. It kind of works like a message board, but it also is a bit like social media like Facebook, where you can have conversations with fellow members and connect with folks across the state. There's also a community for leaders, and there also is a community for each chapter. So if you go on there, you'll see your chapter community on there, which is just folks who are members locally with you. And you also will have a classification community as well. So let's say you're a bus driver and you want to connect with fellow bus drivers or a para, and you have questions about, you know, on-the-job training or anything going on, you can reach out to other folks who are in your same job classification and begin a conversation there. Just to show you really quick, let's go ahead and go into the all member community here. There's quite a few discussion posts. Sometimes there are going to be helpful resources that are posted as shared files, such as it looks like there's a Connect training right here. So if you wanted to take a little bit more of a deep dive into this and see what it's all about. And if you go down here to more, you can go to the full message board. So this right here is all the conversations that are currently on the all member community in Connect. As you can see, folks are asking questions, having different conversations about different events coming up. And also this is where we'll post big news releases, like if OSPI releases something, Rakedoll has a statement, we'll usually post it here so it reaches all members. So definitely encourage you to get on there and take a look. Right up here though, as I mentioned, there's webinars next week, and we want to make sure you know how to register for those webinars. So you go up here to the events tab, and you click on that. And if you see, Tasha was mentioning the first one next week is the diversity and inclusion webinar. It's going to be a really, really good one. So highly encourage you to get on here and register. We also have the rest of our amazing webinars next week. So go ahead and get on there and take a look and register today. So that right there is Connect in a nutshell. So let's go back to the presentation here, but thanks for following with me on that. And we do also have a video in case you forget any of that, or you know, would like a refresher on Connect in the portal. We'll post that here. It's just a walkthrough, kind of like what I did. So how do we utilize technology? It's definitely a changing time, you know, especially with COVID. It threw us all for a loop. You know, technology is really, we're leaning on it more now than ever. And thankfully, it's easier to access information now than ever. So members really do expect transparent, open communication and information from their chapters. Due to busy schedules, it sounded like there was a lot of support for doing more meetings over Zoom and utilizing that technology. So kind of just want to throw it out there. If anybody has maybe a chapter leader out there who has a plan to utilize technology for the rest of the year, or has posted agendas, minutes, documents on the chapter communities, if you've had success with a Zoom meeting, or if you've even voted for ratifications, VIBA, bylaw amendments. The only voting we can't do online currently is we can't elect chapter officers. There's just too many rules that are not easily honored with online voting. So that's the only thing we can't do. But did we see anybody who wants to jump in here? Feel free to unmute yourself if you have anything to share about how you use the platform or any other technology.
Hi, I'll say with mine lately, I've been trying to really push for people to get on to Connect and start using that as a place for us to share information, as whether it's a question about like, I'm filling out unemployment and I come across this, what, does anybody have any help? Because Facebook at times can turn into this dirty, horrible scene, and I want to get us to a place where we can find more facts a lot quicker. And so that's trying to push it and see what we can do. And I'm getting some positive feedback and I'm hopeful. It's just a lot of work to get people to like get out of that Facebook box. So.
You bring up a really, really good point, Gina. Yeah, that's really difficult. And we, on the staff side, and I know the leadership team, the board of directors really want to see that happen too. With folks getting off of Facebook, Facebook's open to anybody, even if you have a closed group. There are still ways that folks can get information that aren't part of the union. And that's the great thing about Connect and the portal is it's very secure. You have to be a member in good standing to be able to access it. So it really does have that peace of mind protected for union activity on there. So it's pretty nice having that platform. And I wish we could say we saw the COVID-19 situation coming, but we're really glad we have this platform now, especially during the times we're living in. So is there anybody else who wants to share a bit before we move on here about any online utilizing technology for chapter activities?
Hi, Travis. This is Michelle Weir.
Hey, Michelle.
I have a chapter who has been very adverse to technology. So I haven't been using the online forums, but now that it's looking like we don't have a choice, I think I'm looking forward to utilizing that and learning it with them, because I think that's part of the problem, that they're not used to it. So saying I'm not used to it either, let's learn it together might be helpful to ease some of that tension. So I really look forward to it.
Awesome. Yeah, change is definitely difficult. I mean, we are all in this together though, and just want to throw out there too, as chapters are making the transition more online, the membership and communication staff are here to help anytime. We're happy to jump on a call and kind of go over best practices for getting folks from social media back to the Connect and portal, and kind of helping them feel a little bit more comfortable with that platform. So yeah, we're available anytime and always happy to help. All right, well, thank you guys so much for taking a journey through Connect with me. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We will have a Q&A at the end if you think of anything else. But let's see, I think the next thing we are going to do is our breakout sessions. Yes, so you're going in one moment will automatically be placed in a breakout room with other members within your classification. So make sure when you see the little thing pop up, make sure to accept the invitation to the breakout room. Otherwise, you'll just end up kind of in the main room here, and we want everybody to be placed in their breakouts appropriately. So we're going to talk a little bit about return to work and what that looks like specifically for your classification. So this will be your chance to talk about safety concerns, personal concerns, anything you need from PSE, and then we're going to come back in a few minutes and we're going to do a report out from kind of what each breakout talks about. So let's go ahead, if we could, and launch into our breakout sessions.
Hi, Jocelyn. I'm not so sure if you can hear me, but we're in breakouts right now. We're ending in about 30 seconds. So you're just good hanging out here for a bit.
Hear me. That's fine. I was, I got bumped out. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I mean, it's what happens when you live in boring Oregon.
Yeah, I'm ending the breakouts in just a moment.
No worries.
Hi, Jill. It's good to see you.
Hey, hi, Charlotte. How are you?
I'm Henri.
You are.
So I'm great.
Oh, Sandy. Sandy had a great idea. She said that in another district that she didn't get a chance to speak. So during our breakout, so I'm going to say it right now, that sometimes in other districts, they use the school buses for hotspots for people in remote areas. So Cheryl, that might be an answer to White Pass's situation.
Well, and Chris Rakedale said that he was going to use some of his funding, and he has a deal with Comcast to provide hotspots for students who need them. And he's gotten quite the budget, and he's been told he can use the money for that. So I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. We were having conversation on how to keep drivers working if we go remote only.
And Travis, it does look like everybody's back.
Excellent. So yeah, let's go ahead and start sharing a little bit about what we all chatted about in these breakout rooms. Does anyone want to go first?
Sure, I'll go. One thing we were talking about is obviously we know how hard it is to train drivers and keep drivers for transportation. And one of the companies that have done very well during the COVID-19 problem we have is Amazon. And every week I see Amazon begging for anybody that knows how to drive. And you know, if we start letting go of drivers, they're going to have to work somewhere, and there's jobs sitting there and waiting for them. And it makes it very difficult to bring them back when things get better.
Yeah, I thought that was such a great point, and we're going to use that when we go to the table, Jerry.
Okay, any other groups want to share what they discussed?
I was in the group with the custodians, and they're kind of pros at this by now because they are 12-month employees, and so they have been working on site ever since, and they have very good practices in place. They have been provided with masks by their districts, and I think there was a need for gloves in one of the districts, and so that's something that can be looked into. And then it was also shared, I asked the question, so what happens if students do return to school at some point in the future? What does the district have in place if a child is suspected of having COVID-19? And it was shared with me that that particular district has 2 health rooms already specified. One health room will be for those students who need to come in and take their meds like always. And then the other health room will be for those students who might have COVID-19. And that room has to have an outside door so that when the parent comes to pick them up, they do not enter into the building. So there are plans in place, and it will be an ongoing effort.
Well, I was with the group, our other services or special services or so I'm technology, Dave's behavioral, we had food services, and we had a Spanish speaking that works with families and things. And her greatest concern was she doesn't know yet what's going to happen, how dealing with the new families that are coming into the district. How is she going to build that relationship and work with those people? Some of them that may not have technology, so she's a little uncertain of how that's going to work out and how she's going to be able to work with and help those people. The rest of us, and I was very saddened to hear that food services are not being provided with devices to be able to get on a Zoom meeting, and have the meetings and the interactions that they need to. That's concerning to me. It's almost like, you're being forgotten because you're food service. You're a vital part of that building, and you're one of the services that are continuing to touch our families and our students as we've been going through this pandemic. And so and the majority of us our districts have made sure that we have been provided with technology to be able to have those Zoom meetings and work with our staff and our buildings and things. So just the uncertainty that's come forward, and not knowing. A lot of districts have made the decision of what they're going to do, and that we still have a lot of districts that haven't made a decision yet or come out and said. And so that uncertainty is really hard for everybody too. So
yeah, I was in one of the para breakouts too, and that was a very common theme, is just the uncertainty, of not everyone knowing how it's going to work for them for specific situations, whether you're immune compromised or you work with special ed students, concerns about temperature taking, and just not really knowing exactly how things are going to look, what the district is going to provide for safety equipment, if you're going to have to sign in, and without, whether you have symptoms or not. So it's going to be a really, it's just an uncertain time. I'm seeing some comments in the chats. It's great that you all, it sounds like someone, Kelly, want the breakout sessions to be longer. That was fun. That's awesome to hear. My advice for everyone is, if you have notes from the breakout sessions or you want to continue this conversation, go on to Connect and go on to your classification community and start the conversation out there. It's a really good way to meet other members across the state who probably have the same questions and concerns that you do. So I think that would be a really good opportunity to continue the conversations after tonight's meeting is over. So get on there and check it out. I think that would be really good. Are there any last folks who didn't share that would like to from the breakout?
I was with the secretaries group, and I just want to echo what Cheryl said. The folks in my breakout room were also concerned about technology and using their personal devices. Like, there was some concern over, is the district going to, if we are doing remote work, is the district going to provide us with all the technology we need, like computers, cell phones, etc.? Because it's a big problem to be contacting parents from personal cell phones and from personal devices, because not only, like, if there's a problem, that device can be subpoenaed and you have to give over your whole laptop. We don't want that. So yeah, just echoing the other group, there was some concern among the secretaries group too about having to use their own personal technology.
So Travis, also, I just wanted to add that it's in some of the rural areas, there is concern about going remote and access to the internet and the availability of the internet, and how it doesn't always work all the time in rural areas. So there's a lot of concern with that.
That is a huge concern. I definitely agree. That's a big question we're gonna have to figure out, is not everywhere has the same access. Not everywhere has access to high-speed Wi-Fi where Zoom could work. So yeah, that's definitely uncertainty as well.
One of my chapters in Zone 4, Glenwood, it's a very small district, and they were having that issue. And what the district did is set up hotspots at the school, and then they also set up picnic tables so that parents and students can come and sit at the picnic tables, use the school district provided laptops so that the kids could get their work done. And that worked out really well. And I was really impressed with that plan. So that's just one creative way that districts can work around that in the rural areas.
Some really good conversation happening, and I wish we could continue well into the evening, but just to be respectful of everybody's time and the agenda, let's go ahead and move on here. But thank you all for some really great discussion. Let's definitely continue it on Connect. I think that would be really, really good. Okay, so the next section we have here, strengthening our zones and regions. So Indra and Cheryl, do you guys want to hop on and talk about this?
Sure. So as Cheryl had spoken earlier about the zone council meeting, along with that meeting, we also had some training, and I was the only field rep that was available on that day. And we put together a training that went really well. We talked about building reps, what role do they play in the chapter, and we stress the importance of having a building rep in every building. The main contact person for those new employees, they would be the first person to greet them. And so it's just another avenue for the zone council meetings, not only for the zone directors to fulfill their obligation to have the required number of meetings per year. Then along with that, they can also have a field rep or an MES or a field service assistant for that matter come in and do a training. And it could be any topic, you know, what is an issue for that chapter at the moment. And so we could piggyback off of that. Another way that we could strengthen our zone is, and our chapters, is through internal organizing, issues organizing. We have done that successfully in Battleground over issues. One was a reduction of secretary schedules going from 11 and 12 months per year to 10 months a year. And we activated our secretaries. We had classification meetings. We had several classification meetings with them, and the district was not aware that this was on, and we shared with them while we met with the secretaries. And they asked us, oh, how many did you? And we said, well, we met with all of them. And they were really surprised that we were taking action and that these members were not happy about having their schedule reduced. And so anyway, after many meetings and collaboration with the district, that idea was abandoned. We also saw the same success with our reading paras.
Yes.
We were going to lay off some of the paras because they were bringing in a new reading program. And upon further research, we come to find out that that program was very old. It was 1992 and it was not current. And so that idea got squashed as well. But all of those things couldn't have happened without the interaction and the engagement of the members themselves.
Right.
You know, Cheryl and I could go to labor management meetings and talk to HR, but when they know that there's a group of people standing behind us, it's all the difference in the world.
Yes. Yes. That's one of the things that that we talked about in our zone meeting, and is making sure that you have not only placing those building reps, you know, in the building stuff, but make sure you give the information out to the members so that they have those. I mean, it's great that you have a building rep in a building, but if nobody knows that building rep is there, what good is it? So one of the things that we continue to do is in our new member packets that we give out is I make sure that I update and keep a current list of every building rep and the phone number that they can be reached at, the schools they're at and things. One of the other things that can help keep your members engaged and give them the information they need is not only, I also make sure that they have the information to get a hold of Endra, because I may not always be available or building rep or whatever, but they can get a hold of Endra at any time. But also making sure that they have a current list of the board members and what their board members represent, whether it's, you know, their classification, your secretary, whatever. Also, we make sure one of the things that I shared with in our zone meeting is the structure. I created a list, and it's the structure of a PSE chapter. And because a new member, or even some of the old members, they're not sure, okay, you're a chapter president, what do you do? Or your vice president, or, you know, your secretary. So giving them the information they need to understand what their union is locally and what it's going to do for them. I also give them kind of a summary, an overall summary of what those officers do. I always make sure that they have their Weingarten rights, and I go over their Weingarten rights with them so that they're aware of, you know, what they can do, you know, that you have the right to request, you know, blah, 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 blah. Also making sure that you let them know who they can contact, not only a building rep, but maybe letting know somebody that's a senior person in the building they're working in, and making sure that that person reaches out to them and kind of mentors them and things. I find that also kind of strengthens your chapter and strengthens the people within the buildings and stuff, kind of makes them look out for each other. I don't know how many times I've gotten phone calls and somebody says, well, you've never met me, but so-and-so told me to call you. I needed to get a hold of you. And it's like, that's watching out for each other. That's making sure your chapter is strong and you're watching out for each other. Utilizing ad hoc committees. I'll be honest, I haven't done a lot of this in the last year or so, but prior to that, we've gotten committees together to, as Indra was saying about the secretaries and things, we've gotten a couple committees together to, because they were, you know, talking about reducing their time and stuff. And we got committees together to kind of go over that and talk about it and put lists together of what they would lose by taking that time away from these people. I mean, meaning the district or the buildings would lose. We also reached out to other districts and found out from other districts what their secretaries do, because we had our district talking about, oh, we want to be the same as this other district. So we reached out to that district and brought those people forward and talked to our people and things and said, yeah, you don't want to go this route. And so then we were able to kind of put a list together and present that to our district of why this wouldn't work for us.
Right. And I just want to touch a little bit on the ad hoc committees. Most of your chapter bylaws has language in it that says that you can form special committees to work on specific issues. And for instance, when schools shut down in early March, in Washougal, we put together what we call the School Closure Action Team. And this team met on a regular basis, of course, through Zoom. with the district to plan what the, the remainder of the school year looked like for our members. And we did pretty much the same in Battleground as well, and all my other districts, really. It wasn't necessarily a large committee in every district, but we had a committee that was working with the district, making sure that everybody continued to get paid and have their insurance benefits continue. And then there is no shortage of ways that members can get activated. They can partner with other unions in their district too. I know recently in Battleground, the teachers union had a small action. They met one Saturday morning at 8:46 a.m. in support of Black Lives Matters. And I don't know how many of our PSE members were able to be involved in that. I did join the teachers in front of Prairie High School, and there was a group of about 20 to 30 people. And we had our homemade signs, and there was a lot of support from people driving by. And it was really nice to see that. And so there is just an array of activities that we can get involved in, fundraising, stuff the bus, other things. And of course, now we're going to have to do a lot of things remotely. We'll say that, yes, chapter meeting attendance has increased as a result of Zoom because of the convenience of being able to do it from home.
And really quick, I want to, Indra brought up Washougal. I want to give a shout out to the leadership in Washougal. They have done an absolutely amazing job of utilizing the technology and the things that have been handed to us. I mean, she just is on top of things. She's running her chapter meetings. She's got things online. I mean, things are coming out of that chapter right away. They're getting out to those members right away. And so these people are keeping informed, and she's doing a great job. So thank you very much to Sandra Goza and her executive board members. They've done a great job.
I think, Travis, I think we might have a poll question next.
Did we do?
Yeah. So are you interested in having regional meetings throughout the year? If so, choose one.
Great.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the quarterlies have it. Okay. Thank you. And now I think, oh, it's me and Justine. Okay. So I'm sure many of you have heard about COPE, and COPE is a program that we became involved with when we affiliated with SEIU in 2005. And it's strictly a voluntary program that you can donate to. And there is a page on our website. If you log into the portal, you can find COPE on there and sign up. And I think the choices are like $3 a month, $5 a month. There's a space where you could just write in the amount that you would like to contribute. COPE is a worthwhile program. This has helped us immensely. And I think everybody understands the importance of school levies and how they help fund our districts. And primarily, a lot of that money goes to fund classified salaries. Because as we all know, classified employees are not funded the same way that teachers are. And so school districts have to rely heavily on levy dollars. And years ago, a levy had to pass by a super majority vote. However, because of COPE and political action that we took, we were able to see that change from a super majority to a simple majority. And so now, instead of needing 60% of the vote to pass a levy, it's 50% plus one vote. And that has made all the difference in the world to many districts throughout the state. A lot of levies have passed with 51% or 52%, whereas in the past, they never would have passed their levies. So that made a huge difference to us as PSE. And COPE is also used to put in place candidates into positions who are friendly to PSE. And Randy Dorn, our former executive director, he became the superintendent of public instruction, which is the position that Chris Brechtel currently holds. And so we can build a stronger voice for our PSE members through contributions to COPE.
Indra, I couldn't have said it better myself. And in the interest of time, I will just say that those were some really great examples, and you should give to COPE. I will go ahead and just let that be it for COPE, since we're quickly running out of time and we got to get to this giveaway.
I can't wait.
All right, do we want to swing this over to Jill, who's going to talk about ERF really quick?
Yeah, I am going to talk about ERF. And I will say that I also, as a staff member, give to COPE, as do most PSE staff members. ERF, so many acronyms in the education world, right? Just like PSE is an acronym. Emergency Relief Fund. Every year, nearly $25,000 of funds are given out to members who are suffering from a catastrophic event or an illness or some situation that has disallowed them to have their leave under paid leave. So they might be on a leave of absence where their insurance premium is not covered. So ERF kicks in there. It's a two-person committee currently. David Watney and Kathy Stewart, PSE staff member, manage it. And it's just a really great way to give back to members who are in need. Help is also available for people who have had damage to their property in the event that they don't have property insurance. PSE was established in 1948. I don't know if you know that that's why we're called Local 1948, but we're over 70 years old now. And in years past, PSE at convention, they passed the hat if they had heard that a member had been in some sort of a disaster or had something terrible happen, like a fire or an earthquake or a flood in their home, or if someone couldn't afford their medication for their cancer treatment. In 1994, the PSE executive assistant, Barbara Holst, she kind of championed this program under Randy Dorn and worked with the board of directors to establish the Emergency Relief Fund for PSE members. It was originally funded out of the PSE operating budget, but today it is completely self-sufficient, and that is done through fundraising efforts. Unfortunately, this year, convention is canceled, and convention is the place where most of the fundraising is done for ERF. And so without silent auction and chapter donations from convention this year, we have an ask of all the local chapters that they log on to their member portal, go to My Benefits, go to the ERF tab about 4 down, and consider donating to the Emergency Relief Fund. Bethel had previously given a very generous donation of $5,000. They're a big chapter, not quite as big as Evergreen, but I'm so happy to announce that the board of directors of Evergreen PSE number 507 just recently made a unanimous approval vote to give a $6,000 donation to the Emergency Relief Fund to help their brothers and sisters in need. And I know that Sandy and Jerry and Gina are on the call tonight, so thank you to them. Those chapters that are not as large as Evergreen may not be able to give as generously, but please consider a donation from your chapter. If you are not, since you are not going to convention this year, you might have a little bit of extra money in your coffers that you can donate. That money goes directly back out to members in need. It might even be you someday that receives up to $500 for an emergency relief fund contribution. So again, go to the portal, My Benefits, go down to emergency relief. You can read more about it. If you know someone in your chapter who is in need of emergency relief, you can print out the form, fill it out and send it to the chapter president in your area. I'm thinking Evergreen, so of course I said Sandy's name, but it could be a chapter. If you just reach out to your chapter president, let that person know that you have someone that you know that's in need. They can submit it on your behalf. It's a really great thing that the union does for its members. So with that said, and in the honor of time, I'm going to toss it back to Travis for I believe a poll question, or do we have Q&A first? I think we have Q&A, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's any questions in the chat here. Let's see.
I think people have been trying to, I think Justine and Indra and Kaz have kind of been answering questions, and Tasha as they've been coming up in the chat.
Okay, excellent. Well, great. Well, if there's no other questions, then yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the final poll question. Robin, can we get that thrown up on the screen, please? We just want to know, how likely are you to participate in virtual meetings like this one? We really want to know if this has been a good use of your time tonight. I think there's been some really great discussions, so we appreciate you spending your Friday night with us and going over time a little bit. We apologize. So while you go ahead and do that last poll, I'm going to go ahead and throw up the giveaway, which is the moment everyone's been waiting for.
Oh, I can't wait.
So we've teased that these are really amazing giveaway prizes. So I think they're pretty awesome. So our first giveaway, Dave, am I good to announce what our first giveaway is?
I don't know. They won't tell me.
Alrighty. Well, our first giveaway, drum roll please, is a $100 Fred Meyer gift card, which is good for groceries or gas. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up on my screen here. We're going to do this live, and we're going to do it as fairly as we can here with a randomizer on random.org. And I will show everyone here. I've got a spreadsheet of everyone who registered for tonight's meeting. Now, please note that you do need to be present to win, so we're going to draw until we receive a winner. Each person has been assigned a number here, so our range goes from 2 all the way down to 196. So let's get this up here. So let's put the range in here, 2 to 196. Okay, 109.
Oh, it's got to be me.
Sonia Lorenzo. Sonia? Are you on the call, Sonia? Going once? Going twice? Okay, I guess Sonia is not on the call. So you do have to be present to win, so let's go ahead and draw someone else here. Lucky number 93. 93. Gabriel Basic? Gabriel, are you on the call? No, I don't think he is. So let's go ahead and draw another winner.
Oh.
All right, 116. Carol Badgore?
Badger.
I'm here.
Badger?
Badger.
Carol.
Yay, Carol.
Yay.
All right.
Congratulations, Carol. So I'm going to take down your info here, and we'll be in touch about how you can redeem that prize. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we do have one more giveaway since we did promise there would be multiple. The second giveaway is a $100 gift card to the PSE store. So you can buy PSE swag, Everything we have to offer is $100 toward that. So let's go ahead and bring this up here and draw our next winner. Number 19, lucky number 19. Alicia Nordwell. Alicia, are you on the call?
Yes, I am.
Hey, congratulations, Alicia. All right. Excellent. So same deal. We will be in touch. I'm going to take down your info here, and we'll be in touch how we're going to get that to you. So congratulations.
Thank you.
That is awesome.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. That is the end of our giveaway. And let me pull the slides back up here. And I think we are just about done.
What, no new car?
Not this time, maybe next time.
No trips to Hawaii?
That would be nice.
Troublemaker, Dave, troublemaker.
Well,
sadly, no.
Somebody has to do it.
Well, I want to thank everybody for taking the time, spending their Friday evening with us. I hope this has been helpful. I've been reading some of the chat coming in, and I see people saying that it's been a great way to spend their time. They've learned a lot. There was some great discussions. I just want to thank everybody for coming. Thank PSE staff for putting this together. Great job. And, you know, feel free to reach out to us and let us know if there's something more you'd like to see in some of these trainings, discussions, you know, whatever. We would appreciate that. Dave?
Yeah, you know, and I totally agree. I truly want to thank the staff. I want to thank the board of directors that attended tonight, and every one of you for taking your Friday evening. You know, Friday evenings are tough to get people, and thank you for wanting these meetings quarterly. This is my first, and I think it was awesome. And you know, I hope it continues. I also want to remind everybody to register for the upcoming webinars. You want to do that. There are some really cool webinars coming, so do that. So that's all I have to say. And our state president is here. I don't know if she wants to give a little shout out or anything, but thank you and good night from me.
Good night, everybody, and thank you for being on. And remember, take care of yourself. We know that you're nurturing your members and your family, and these are difficult times, and you're important to us. So take some time for self-care. Have a great weekend.
Yes.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Have a good weekend.
Have a good evening, everyone.